the Ed launcher. A little bit of fuel. Capped. Loading. That's outstanding, Ed.
Action. Hello everybody, Ed here, W4 Echo Mike Bravo. Going to be giving a introductory video or a how-to video here on the Penntek TR45L. I do have it set up on 2 wood blocks because it does have knobs and things out the back end, and I'm going to be hooking a coax to it, and so I need it to be up off the desk since I'm filming in a down view here. So let's go ahead and talk about the Penntek. While we're here on the back, let's go ahead and just bang things up. While we're here on the back, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things you'll find on the back side. Here's a red connector port, and you have a barrel connector that goes to that for power, and this is for when you plug it in at home. And when you plug it in at home to charge the internal battery, you can't use the radio at that time when you're using this charge port. But however, if you use the included power adapter to the battery of your choice and you plug it in the black adapter, well, not only can you use the radio, but it also, I believe it charges the one on the inside. Moving down here, we have the side tone volume adjustment knob. So that's how loud you hear your key while keying. Above that is your balanced line inputs. Above that is a switch that says balanced and coax, so that if you want to use these 2 inputs, you flip that switch to use these. If you want to use the coax input, which is a BNC connector, but I currently have some stuff on there at the moment, you flip down to use the coax. Has a built-in Zmatch tuner. If you want the tuner to be in play, well, you put tuner in, and then you use these 2 knobs to adjust for your tune. Okay. And what I love about this tuner, we'll show you when we get around to the front, but we're going to be tuner out for the moment. So let's go ahead and flip the radio over. All right, you can see how big this is. It's about the size of my hand. So it's bigger than you know, the guys that like to go out in a Altoids tin with their whole, you know, entire everything they need, radio, antenna, everything in a bag that's this big. But this isn't that big, and it's great for just packing it around. And it's a shack in a box, and I can't take that term. Thomas Witherspoon, K4SWL, had mentioned this radio, and then he referred to it as a shack in a box, and I agree, because it has your built-in tuner and just everything that you need. So let's go over the controls. We're going to start off on one side, move our way to the other. Here underneath this handle, you do have a switch, and what that switch does is it dims the lights in our 2 windows. And so when your power's on, if it's a really bright day outside, you can flip that switch up and you can see how bright that just got. Or you can flip it down. Okay. Moving our way across the radio, directly underneath this awesome analog meter is a record and play switch. If you want to record your CW messages, you flip it to record. In the window, it will say record 1 or record 2, meaning choice 1 or choice 2. And it calls the choices dit and da. So if you want to record choice 1, you hit dit on your paddle, and then you go ahead and play the message, and then just stop, and then it saves that recording. Hit record again, hit da, record your message, and it will save that recording. And then when you want to play those messages, press it to play, hit dit or da in order to play that particular message. Alright, moving down here, you have 2 key inputs. You have one that says key, and that's for a straight key. One that says paddles. There you go for paddles. Right beside that, you have your key or speed. As soon as you grab that knob and start moving it, you can see the window changes, and it puts the appropriate speed in the window for you. Right, so there you go. There's your key or speed. Now up here is a red switch, and it says RF power, reverse and forward. I love that switch with this analog meter, because first thing is you want to know what your SWR looks like. So I always turn my power knob all the way down to 0, and then I can get on my key and start to slowly increase power, and watching the needle move when it's on reflected, it will start to come up if you have SWR over a 2-to-1 SWR, and this light will come on, so you know to get off your key. Make whatever adjustments if necessary. Adjust your antenna, or if you're using the built-in tuner, that's even better, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So reverse shows you how much SWR you have. Then once you've adjusted, make sure you got a low SWR. You can also flip it to forward, press your key, and see how much power you have going out. This radio is designed for 5 watts, but it will peg when your antenna is really good. So what I always like to do is, if I'm up here and I hit my key and it pegs the meter, I will back it down to where it's at 5 watts, because it's intended for 5-watt use, and it is plenty when you are using CW. So there's your power knob. Coming down here, you have your RF gain, right? So almost like a volume knob there. Okay, next switch over here is your dial lock and bat check spot, is what it says. So if you don't want to bump your dials and accidentally go off frequency, press it up and it says dial lock on. You want to change frequency, press it up, dial lock is back off. Now this switch does 2 things when you press it down. The first thing it does, it's going to give you a battery check, and the meter will show you on your battery how much battery you have, and it's also going to make a loud beep noise that we can't hear because my volume's down. So I see that I have plenty of battery, and that tone that you hear is the side tone of my rig, and that side tone is also a spot, so it lets me zero beat or spot the frequency that I hear. If I hear a frequency, I could do that when I hear his tone, match those 2 tones, and then I know that I'm on the same frequency as that station. Alright, so we talked about this. The notch filter, if you have a lot of stations to your left and right, and it's a busy day, you can use this notch filter and you can start to notch those other stations out. Hopefully you can hear that on camera. You can hear that notch moving back and forth. So that will help you notch out any QRM that you have. You know what, last time I used this I was on narrow mode. Now I'm on CWW for wide mode. There you hear that notch filter. Alright. Now, since I kind of talked about it, we'll go up there to that wide mode. Has 3 different audio filters. So right now you're on wide mode. If you want to change that, I'll just leave it down. I was going to try to aim the speaker up for you. If you want to change that, you can hit this button down 1 time. That puts you in narrow mode, and you can hear how much that tightens that up. And if you need even more filter, flip that switch and it filters it even more. And here in a moment, when I attach the coax, we'll go through that part again. Alright, so bat check. Okay, down here, this is your notch filter. Okay, so then this adjusts your frequency. So if you notice, I'm on 14.0615, and I can press it down, and that moves my little cursor underneath the 5, and then I can change it. Or if I press and hold, that moves my cursor over underneath the 6.1, and now I can make more bold movements here at the VFO knob. Okay, and again, just press it, and it will go in between those 3 different numbers, giving you different levels of adjust: fine, medium, and a coarse tune. Okay, back up here, this is our receive mode switch, and again we just went through the 3 filters that we had. We had the narrow, the wide, and then the additional. We're pressing this switch to the up position, makes this light come on, and it turns your receive incremental tuning. And so you'll notice here in the window that pops up, and then you can adjust how much RIT that you want to have. And if you don't want the RIT, flip it up, it's gone. So there you go. So RIT and receive mode. I use this switch the most. Between the whole time I'm operating, the red switch when I first get going, this switch with every QSO, and then this down, not on every QSO, but I'll adjust my filter for those weak signals. Alright, next is your band select and VFO knob. So if I want to go from 20 meters, flip it up, I'm on 17. Flip it up, I'm on 80, 40, 30, 20, 17. And it's a flip up switch only, and it rotates through all the choices. If you flip it down, you notice I'm in VFO A. Flip it down, I'm in VFO B. Now, if one more thing on the receive mode switch, notice we went from wide, narrow, but there's something else this radio does. You can press and hold, and it will take you to sideband. So you can actually listen to sideband with this radio, and then back down again, and you're right back to the CW modes. Alright, so we covered band select by pushing this up, VFO by pushing it down. Next, your power switch. Okay, then the other thing, again, you have your audio filter switch here, and then right here you have an external speaker switch. You can turn off the external speaker, which is located here on the side. So you can plug in your headphones, turn off the speaker if you wish, or headphones back on. And the other thing that's really cool is, besides having a headphone switch, being able to turn the speaker on and off, on the back you have an additional port that you can run an external speaker if you wish. So while we're back here, let's go ahead and just hook up our coax now, so we can actually hear what this thing sounds like while we're on there a little bit. As I drop everything. But has these good handles. Thank goodness. Alright, so here we go. Should be hooked up to my hex beam. And let's hear what we got going on. Let's see. I need to go ahead and go to 20 meters. See if I can get that glare out of there a little bit. Alright. There's a couple stations in there. You hear them. Now here we notched that one out. How wonderful is that? Or we can do this. Look at that. All the way down. And what does it sound like otherwise? A lot of hash in there. But again, go to narrow and have that additional audio filter on. We can see the forward needle moving with their strength. That's what I love about this radio, right there. You flip that to narrow when you have a lot of hash or noise, and just listen to that CW signal coming in. You hear that other signal back there? Yeah, we just took him out with one touch of a switch. There's no need to go through any menus to get there. You're just sitting there with your hand on your key, you reach up and hit this switch. And you get rid of that other signal that's in the back. So there you go. Anyway, so I honestly have made this my go-to radio. Maybe I'm a little biased. I've tried others. I've got the KX1. I've been out with the KX2. I've been out with the KX3. I've been out with the Yaesu 817, Yaesu 897, Yaesu 857, and quite frankly, this radio has probably got the best sound received out of all those radios, out of all of them. So that's just my opinion there on that. Tell you what we're going to do before I forget to do it. Let's go ahead and let's get a look at the Zmatch tuner. Now it's just got two knobs, but I'm going to go ahead and flip tuner in. I'm going to flip that back over. See if I can do this without making a bunch of noise and banging stuff around here. And let's see if I can get a straight key going over here. Alright, here's the key. Okay, there we go. So let's turn this on. We got the tuner in. We'll see what we can do with that Zmatch tuner. I'm going to try to hold that up without dropping stuff constantly. Alright. Tell you what we're going to do. We'll go to hold this down, go to bold adjustment. Go to wide mode again. Now I'm going to go to reverse. I'm going to check my key. High SWR. Oh, because I got the tuner in, that's why. See? Forgot already. Alright, so my tuner's in. So let's see what happens if we go ahead and got some issues here. Let's see what happens if we adjust our knobs for the highest sound. A little bit more difficult while on camera. Watching my needle there. That's one knob. Move the other one. Okay, and now I'm going to back my power down a bit. Raise my power, watch my SWR. Okay, not making my light come on. Adjust my knob. Alright, flip to forward. 5 watts. Alright, so we got 5 watts going out, adjusted using the tuner. And then flip this to reverse. So that way every time you press your key, you're not knocking your needle at the forward. So whenever you're transmitting, go ahead and leave it on the reverse. That wasn't it at all. So there we go. Now maybe that'll hit the beacon here in a moment. This is why you should get a comfortable station and not be trying to operate across your body while holding your radio up. You know, you want to get in a nice, comfortable key position, because I'm awkwardly sitting here trying to do this. Yeah, that's my excuse. I may or may not have hit the reverse beacon. I'm not sure, because I turned my phone off while I was doing this video. Oh, yeah, okay, so I got spotted by the RBN. So going to my phone here, I keep the RBN as a page. Let's see what the map looks like. Oh, this way, I guess. So we're getting out a little bit there. So that's one hit on the beacon so far, and yeah, one what I'm going to try to do is maybe in this video I'll edit it a bit and see if I can grab this RBN map and see if I can put it up on the screen with the video. I don't know if I can do it. I'm just now learning this editor business. But anyway, so there's the TR45L radio. This is the full size one with the built-in tuner on the back. Absolutely love this radio. It's my go-to rig, and like I say, I've used others. It's not like I just haven't, but it has to do with listening. It has to do with listening to other signals. That's the main thing. You gotta, in order to get on the air and workstations, you gotta hear them. And when you're like me and newer at CW, my ears aren't trained yet to get through all that hash and noise and pull out signals, especially if they're on a cootie or a bug or whatnot. I'm still learning. I've only been in CW just over a year, and so I suppose that as time progresses, I'll get better and better at pulling those signals out. But in the meantime, this radio is just been a phenomenal rig for me. Just great, and it works really well. You can go back and actually watch it in some of my full-blown POTA activation videos where I've set it to picnic table using a straight key on my earlier ones. After about 10 months of being with the Long Island CW Club and learning and progressing through my CW, I finally transitioned to paddles after 10 months. Anyway, so there you go. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Been a little bit busy here around the house here, and this weather situation we've had, hopefully it's getting better, so I can start getting more videos made. And yeah, Tin Park Rove coming up. I have a fellow that invited me to go do a Tin Park Rove with him, and we today sit down and plan the route. Don't know how much videoing I'll be able to do during it, but it would be really interesting to try to do some. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. And we'll go ahead and we'll cut this one off, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, W4EMB.